Welcome to MDL Crochet for this tutorial on the linked hearts scarf. I used a 4-weight yarn with a 6.5 millimeter cabled Tunisian crochet hook. This pattern is simple, it's quick, it's easy. There are a little bit of changes to decreasing and increasing. There is a repeat, that is a 14-row repeat, so you can build the bulk of your scarf. And if you do the pattern out as stated, which is 17 repeats, and then the end, which will end up making your heart scarf look like that on the end. You'll have the point at one end, and you'll actually have the heart bubbles at the other end. It will measure 6.5 feet or 1.98 meters. So let's get to it. So for this tutorial, I am using 4-weight yarn with a 6.5 millimeter cabled Tunisian crochet hook. You don't have to use cable, you can use an Afghan hook, but I'm using cable because that's what I'm comfortable with. Do what's comfortable for you. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to take our first color and we're going to go ahead and do our chain, and you're only going to do a chain of 2. And I'll show you how we're going to add the increases. So go ahead and just chain 2, 1 and 2. Then you're going to come back into that very first chain like we normally would with on the back and just do the back bump. As you can see, the back bump right here, that's where we're going to be putting our needle. So we're going to go ahead and take our back bump, pull up our loop, and now we have our 2. You can tighten down a little bit so you can make your right side or left side tight. So now you're going to do your standard return pass, which is just chain 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. Now here is where it's going to get a little tricky. We created a space right next to that very first chain, right next to the very first bar that we always have up. There's a space now, and then we have our end stitch stuff. So we're just going to go into there and pull up a full stitch, and then on the end where we do our normal side stitch, we're going to pull up just one side of it. So you just go in and pull up one side. Now we're up to 3. Then you're going to go back through and do a proper end stitch to where you get both of your sides. You're going to get both of your sides, and it's going to be a little tricky because you got to go through, and then you're going to have to angle down just a little bit so you can get that other side. And maybe a little snug because we're pulling on it, but you're going to get both of those too. And the reason why we need those 2 is because that's how we're adding our end stitch. So we're going to go back in and just fold into it and do your normal end stitch. And like I said, it's going to be a little tight, so if you need to go through one, go through one, and then you're going to have to angle in so you can get that other stitch. And it's going to be a little tough. This is the first one. It's going to be a little tough. It's always, the starter is always tough. And then now we have it, so you yarn over it, and then we'll pull through just that like we would a end stitch. Now we have 4 loops on our hook. That's what we want. We're going to be increasing by 2 every row. For the next 14 rows, we're going to be increasing by 2. So yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. Now this you can deal with once we're done, because once you weave it in, it'll tighten it up down here. Trust me on that. Now we're going to do our full stitch first, And this is now row 3. Full stitch, and then we're going to pull up our simple stitches. So we have, and we're going to be pulling up a total of 6 stitches, 6 loops. One, and there's already 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then we do the edge, just 1, because you can see now it's getting a little bit more prevalent here. You have, that's your normal end stitch. You can see the 2 right there. And with that, you're going to just pull up the front side. You're going to put your 5th stitch into that front side. So go ahead and pull up your 5th stitch, and then we're going to go back through and do a normal end closure where you're going through 2, like I am right here. And then yarn over and pull up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we do our standard return pass. So chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2. Now we're on to row 4. And with row 4, we need 8 loops on our hook. So we'll do the very first full stitch, which is right next to our edge stitch, between the edge stitch and the very first bar. So you just pull up a full stitch, so that's 2, and then simple stitch, that's 3, another simple stitch, that's 4, another simple stitch, it's 5, and one more simple stitch because this one is getting kind of hugged. And there goes number 6. Now we got to do our edge loop. There goes 7, and then our edge stitch. It's just a normal edge stitch. And there goes 8. Standard return pass. And you can see it's starting to take shape. Now we need to do 10 loops on our hook. And the very first where you're going to go is next to your edge stitch. It's going to be kind of hugged here because of that, how we're doing the increases. It's going to be hugging. So you need to pay attention to that. It's really going to be easy to bypass it and mess up your pattern. And it's right here. You can see there's the edge stitch. Here's your first stitch. And it's in between the gap right there. So we already have one on our hook. There's 1, 2. Now simple stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now again, we have our edge stitch, right? It's kind of sinking down a little bit, but that's fine. We have our edge stitch. Well, we're only going to pull up just the first bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for number 9. And then we're going to go back in and do a normal edge stitch, which means we're going to go through to get both of these chevrons, just like you normally would do an edge stitch in Tunisian crochet. And there goes, this is loop number 10. Now you just do a standard return pass. You see it taking shape. Now we're on to row 6, where we need to do 12. Remember the very edge stitch? We got our gap right there we got to go into. That's 2. And then the rest is simple stitches. Here goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we do pull up just our edge, just the outside edge stitch, or inside edge stitch, or front side edge stitch, however you want to call it. There goes 11, and then we go back through and do our normal edge stitch, where you're going to go through the front and back of that chevron, or edge stitch, or V. Yarn over and pull up your loop, and then you're going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And that is row 6. So yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, standard return pass. So now we're on to row number 7. Row 7, we need 14. Remember, we got the gap between our very first vertical bars and our edge stitch. We need to put the stitch in there. So we already have 1 on our hook, so that's 1. Then we pull up a full stitch, that's 2. And then the rest is simple stitch, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we have the front side sidebar. It's 13, and then we have our edge stitch. There goes 14, and then it's the standard return pass. The reason why we're doing the front side of the sidebars as for our increase is because if we didn't, it'd be a gap here. So we're preventing that gap. And that way it becomes a nice solid piece of fabric. Now you just do your standard return pass. Just chain 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. Now we're on to row number 8, which is 16 loops on our hook. We'll do our full stitch. There's number 2, and then the rest in simple stitch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is your front side of your edge stitch. And then number 16 is your end actual stitch. And then it's a standard return pass. So yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way down to the end. Now we're on to row number 9. Row number 9 is 18 total loops. Don't forget your full stitch, and then the rest is simple stitch. 2, it goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Your front post edge stitch is number 17. And then our actual edge stitch itself is number 18. And then it's a standard return pass. Row 10 needs 20 loops on our hook. Don't forget your full stitch at the beginning, so that's number 2, and the rest is simple stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Number 19 is your front side edge stitch post, and number 20 is your actual edge stitch. And then you just do a standard return pass, so chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2, all the way down to the end. So now we're on to row 11. Row 11 is 22 loops on our hook. Don't forget your full stitch at the very beginning. It's 2, and the rest are simple stitches. It goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, that's 20. 21 is your front post of your edge stitch, and 22 is your actual edge stitch. Then you'll just do a standard return pass. Now we're on to row 12. Row 12 is 24 loops on our hook. So we'll do the full stitch, which is number 2, and the rest in simple stitch. And that's 24, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Number 23 will be your forward post of your edge stitch. 23 and 24 will be your actual edge stitch. And then it's a standard return pass. So chain 1, yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way down to the end. You can see the shape it's taking. And it's going to have curl because we are using the simple stitch. But you can see it's starting to make our heart shape that we want. So now we're on to row 13. And with row 13, we need to do 26 loops on our hook. Remember, we have our full stitch we have to do. So that we already have one on our hook. Goes 2, and the rest are done in simple stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now number 25 is the front post of our edge stitch. 25, and number 26 is the actual edge stitch. And then it's a standard return pass. Yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2 all the way down to the end. Okay, so now we're on to row 14. Row 14 is 28 loops on our hook. You'll do your first full stitch, which is loop 2, and the rest will be simple stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and number 27 is our front post edge stitch, and number 28 is our edge stitch. And then it's a standard return pass. So now we're finishing up the return pass for row 14, and we're about to start row 15. Now rows 15 through 19 will just be 28 simple stitches. You'll do 6 rows, nothing but simple stitches. You will not add or subtract any stitches. 2. Okay, so we have row 19 done. Now what you can do is you can take a stitch marker, go all the way up from your point, go all the way up, place your stitch marker on those 2 rows that are two bars you followed all the way up, because that's your center. And at the center is where we're going to be starting a color change. Now, the repeat for this pattern will start at row 20, which is starting on this row we're about to start. It'll repeat until row 33. That is 14 rows, and that is your repeat until we get to the end. So let's go ahead and start row 20 or row 1 of the repeat. So we're going to start by simple stitching 2 together. We'll simple stitch these 2 together, yarn over, pull up your loop. And we need to do a total of 12 loops on our hook. So that's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now you could either pull out a decent amount of yarn or you can walk your yarn. I'm going to be walking it back and forth. Less tells. So you'll take in your second color. And you'll pull up your loop. Drop the tail end. And since we're walking our other color, you just need to twist them. So that way the new color pinches the walking color. And we're only pulling up 2 loops in this new color. You can drop the new color because we're just going to be going straight across, and we're going to do 12. What you do on one side, you need to do on the other side. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, we have 2 stitches left. We need to decrease. So we're going to pull up we're going to go into this bar like we're pulling up a simple stitch, and we're going to go into our end stitch. So we're going through the last vertical bar and our end stitch, yarning over and pulling up that 1 loop. Now we're at 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then it's just standard return pass. So chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're going to yarn over, pull through 2 until we get to the color change. Now we're at the color change. We're going to pick up the color that we are changing to, and you're going to use it as our yarn over, pull through 2, and do it again while twisting our first color to make sure it gets pinched by the new color. And then yarn over and pull through 2, drop the new color, pick up your older color, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 all the way down to the end. But don't forget to go back and tighten your colors up a little bit. And then just continue all the way down with your return pass. So now we're on row 21. And with row 21, we're going to simple stitch 2 together and do a total of 10 loops on our hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our 10th one will make us drop 1 short of where our color change is. So we can do a color change, and you need to do 4 of these. And walking your other color over so we can do the other side. It's 2, 3, and 4. Drop the new color, pick up your old color. We're going to do total 10 loops, but stop at number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this is how we're going to do our decrease, which is we go through, we're doing a simple stitch for this one and our end stitch. Then yarn over and pull through the end stitch and the bar we went through. That gives us our decrease. And then we're going to just do a standard return pass, chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2. Pay attention to your color changes. We're at our color change. Now we got to walk our first color so we can get to the other side. Pick up your old new color. And once you pull through, drop the new color, pick up your older color, and then just yarn over and continue your return pass. So now we're on row 22, and we're going to start with simple stitching 2 together. That gives us 2 loops on our hook. We need a total of 8. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to keep our first color, pick up our second color. We're walking our first color to the other side, and our second color is going to help kind of pinch it. And we need to do a total of 6 of the new color. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Drop the new color, pick up the first color, and we need to do 8, but stop at number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we're going to go through that last vertical bar we have. We're not pulling up anything, and then we're going to do our end stitch. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through the end stitch and that vertical bar. And that gives us our 8, and that gives us our decrease. Now just do a standard return pass, pay attention to your color changes, walk your color back, and I will meet you at row 23. Alright, so now we're on row 23, the 4th row of the 14 row repeat. With row 23, we're still decreasing. So we're going to take our needle and simple stitch 2 together. That's 2 stitches. Now we need a total of 6. That's already 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6. Now we're going to be walking our color across again. We need to do a total of 8 simple stitches in our new color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Drop your new color, pick up your old color, and we need to do a total of 6 simple stitches. But stop at your 5th stitch so we could do the decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You'll take that last bar and the end stitch, then you'll pull up a loop through both of those at once. That's going to create your decrease. And we're at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're going to do a standard return pass. So chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and continue pulling through 2. But we're going to do a little bit something different after we get done with this side. Once we get done with this color change right here, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Tighten it up a little bit. There we are. And then just do the color change. And we're walking the color back. And then through this last one, then you're going to stop. We need to walk this new color to come down here now. So just switch the way you were walking, and pick up pick up your first color, and continue the return pass, walking the new color back. And right before we get to the last 2 stitches, we're going to do something here. Now you're going to just drop your first color, pick up the second color, and you're going to use it to do your final yarn over and pass through. Tighten that up a little bit. Now we're on to row 24, the 5th row of the 14-row repeat, and it is just 20 simple stitches all the way across. So 1, it's 3, 4, 18, 19. Number 20 is your end stitch. Pull up your end stitch, and then it's a chain 1, yarn over, and pull through 2, standard return pass all the way down to the end. Before we continue, we can go ahead and get rid of the very first color that we had coming into our project. Now we're going on to the row 25, which is the 6th row of our 14-row repeat, and we are increasing. So you'll do your increase stitch like we did prior, which is through the full stitch, and then you're going to go all the way down, pulling up a total of 22 loops on your hook. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now we're at 20. We still need 2 more. So we got to do the front side edge stitch, 21, and then we do our normal edge, and that's 22. Chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2, standard return pass. Now we're on to row 26, which is row 7 of the 14-row repeat. You're going to increase, so we do our full stitch. We need to pull up a total of 24 loops, so the rest will be done in simple stitch. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then our edge stitch, our front post edge stitch, 23, and then our actual edge stitch will be 24. Then you're going to yarn over, chain 1, and it's a standard return pass. So yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. All right, now we're on to row 27, the 8th row of the 14-row repeat. And you will need to do 26 loops on your hook. So that's 1, and then our increase is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's 10, 11, it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. The front post of our edge stitch is number 25, and then our edge stitch is number 26. And then you'll just chain 1 and do a standard return pass. Now we're on to row 28, which is row 9 of the 14th row repeat. You'll do your increase like we have been doing, which is a full stitch. And then we need a total of 28 loops on our hook, which will all be done in simple stitch. That's 2, there goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. The front post of our edge stitch will be row number 27, and then our edge stitch will be number 28. And then it's a standard return pass. So chain 1 and then yarn over and pull through 2. So now we are on row 29, which is the 10th row of the 14-row repeat. Rows 29 through 33 are the exact same. They're what we did here. You're going straight across, and you'll need 28 loops on your hook. You'll do that for 5 more rows. So there will be no increasing or decreasing. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and number 28. You'll do a standard return pass. I'll meet you when we get started with row 33, which will be the last row of doing 28s across. So I am starting row 33 which is the 6th row of doing 28s across. So we're going to go ahead and do our 6th row. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and our end stitch is number 28, and then do a standard return pass. We just completed row 33, which is our 14th row in our 14-row repeat. We did our 6 rows of 28. That gives us our last row in the repeat. Now, if you want to continue making this scarf longer, you will do the repeats from row 20 to row 33 approximately 17 times, and that'll give you a scarf length of 6.5 feet or 1.98 meters. So now what we're going to do, we're going to close this off. So we're going to take our stitch marker and bring it all the way up here because we need it. Because this is where the heart aspect changes a little bit. So bring it all up here and put it where it's even from the two prior where we had it in the other color. So we need to decrease still. So we're going to still simple stitch 2 together. And then we're going to need to pull up a total of 13 simple stitches. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 is going to go where we would normally start our next color. But if we didn't do what we're doing now, we'd be left with a gap, and we don't want a gap for this last part. Now we got our 13 up. Now you're just going to do a standard return pass. So chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2. And you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 all the way down to the end. So the next row, what we're going to do is we're going to simple stitch 2 together again because we're decreasing it. And we need a total of 11 loops on our hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're at number 10. So we're going to do our decrease like we did over here, where we just go through the loop and then through the edge stitch. That's how we're going to do our decrease here. Now we have 11 loops on our hook. So you'll chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2. Now for this next row, we're going to do a simple stitch of 2 together. And we need a total of 9 loops on our hook. So it's 2, it goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then we're decreasing, so we need to go through just pull up the bar and the edge stitch and pull that loop through both of those, and then it's a standard return pass. Now For our next row, we need to simple stitch 2 together and have a total of 7 loops on our hook. 3, 4, 5, 6, and number 7 is 2 together, and there's number 7. And then it's a standard return pass, so chain 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. And our last row, it's simple stitch 2 together, and we need a total of 5 loops left on our hook. So that's 3, 4, and then the 5th one is going through that loop and the end stitch, yarning over and pulling that loop all the way through. Now we have our 5, so we chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Now how we're going to close this off is we're going to close it off with a simple stitch, slip off. So it's just pull up a simple stitch and slip it off. And you're going to do that all the way down, simple stitch, slip off, simple stitch, slip it off. And at the end stitch as well, so simple stitch, slip it off, and chain 1, and go ahead and leave yourself a decent tail so you can weave in. And then, now we have the other side we need to start. So now we're going to start the other side. And you're just going to add your color like we normally would add a color. Go ahead and pull it up. And we need a total of 13 simple stitches, but you're going to stop at number 12. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and number 12, because 13 is going into that last stitch as well as your end stitch, and you're going to pull that loop through both of those and then do a standard return pass. So chain 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. So now we're going to simple stitch 2 together for our decrease, and we need 11 stitches up on our hook, 11 loops left on our hook. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that 11th loop goes through the last loop as well as the end stitch. Yarn over and pull it through both, and then a standard return pass. So chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. The next row, we're going to simple stitch 2 together, and we need 9 loops on our hook. So that's 2, there goes number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is going through the last loop as well as our end stitch. Pull that loop through both of those, and then a standard return pass. So chain 1 and then yarn over and pull through 2 all the way till you only have that 1 left. Now this next row we need 7, so we're going to simple stitch 2 together, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7 goes through that last loop as well as the end stitch. You'll yarn over and pull through both, and then do a chain 1 and then a yarn over and pull through 2 all the way down to the end. And we are on our last row, which requires 5 stitches. So that's 1, and then we're going to simple stitch 2 together. That's 2, 3, 4, and number 5 goes through the last loop as well as the end stitch. Yarn over and pull through the 2, and then chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to do our simple stitch close off. So let's just do a simple stitch and then slip it off. You only want that one loop left on your hook. You're going to do that all the way down the line here and on the end stitch as well. And then chain one, trim your line, and then you can weave in your ends, block it, and there's your heart scarf. You'll repeat rows 20 through 33 to continue your growth on this, and that'll look like this. It'll look like this where you continue your growth. Once you're done, you can weave in your ends, block it, and you'll be good to go. And again, you'll make this section approximately 17 times. And that is all dependent on your yarn weight, as well as your tension and your needle size. Again, I used a 4 weight with a 6.5 millimeter needle, and just keep going. It's an easy work up in a day. But if you found this tutorial helpful, please leave me a like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And as always, folks, keep stitching.